Everything that was fine.
Oh, Mr. Maris, I forgot to congratulate you on winning the Granville case.
You know, aside from my secretary, I think you're about my most faithful fan.
You, flight attendant I've known for 5 minutes.
Court trial, and I never have.
And I'm not the kind of girl to let a man break his promise.
And I'm not the kind of girl that would ever want something like that.
I hope it's soon.
Okay.
Do you pick up a lot of chicks with that line?
That was a near tragedy. Thought I'd almost lost my dancing shoe.
Meanwhile, at the stewardess sorority...
Hi, Rumi. Got back just in time to say goodbye.
Flight was half an hour behind schedule. Storm.
Where are you off to? Where else but dear old St. Louis?
Hi, Sue. Welcome home.
What a bitch!
Sue's a bitch, I know. I'm here, I know.
I almost forgot. That handsome attorney I told you about, Mr. Maris, was on my flight today.
The handsome one who's an attorney?
Think I managed to shame him into a date. At least I hope so.
Good foundation for a relationship.
Oh, speaking of dates, Ralph Daly came by for you about a half an hour ago.
Oh, I almost forgot.
You forget a good-looking pilot? Well, anyway, he checked with the flight desk. He knew you'd be late, and he wants you to be sure and call him at the Galaxy Bar. Oh, don't fight over the boys while I'm away, girl.
Well, she'd have to get up off the couch first, so you're probably safe.
That thing is ruined. She crapped herself 4 hours ago and just waiting for the room to clear out.
Damn, air raid siren.
I just wanted to order some Taco Bell. You know, really ruined myself tonight.
Never fails. The line in that place is always busy. Ralph have anything to say? No.
That'll teach her. Brown up her couch a little bit.
Operator, give me the telephone number of Herbert L. Maris. And hurry, please.
I'm feeling faint. That grumper really took a number on me. And her.
Her, mostly.
I can still be saved.
There's still time.
Ooh, he is standing way too close to those bars.
He's gonna get a cup of piss thrown in his face.
These stories are based on the files and case histories of Herbert L. Maris, permanent attorney who has devoted his life to saving the innocent.
Or getting him the chair, whatever. Whatever gets him out of here on time. Tries to get every defendant, no matter what the charge, the electric chair.
When I left stewardess Jean Davis at the airport, I made a mental promise to show her a court trial sometime this week. However, when I answered her call for help, I wondered whether she'd be in court as a spectator or as a defendant.
Ma'am, you can stop pretending you're a book now.
Are you sure there was no one else in the apartment while you were shot?
No, I'm not sure. But I don't think anyone else was here.
What's wrong, John?
Pants. Pooped.
The coroner's report raises some questions.
Again? Did you bring your diaper?
Miss Davis, you admitted the gun that we found was registered in your name, is that right?
Ma'am, do you have a towel?
But all three of us, Sue, Claudia, and myself, we all chipped in for it. I told you, Lieutenant, we had a burglary here about 3 months ago, and I was scared.
And I always knew that burglar was still hanging around the house somewhere.
Over there, is that right?
Yes.
Who else was here when you came home?
Just Sue and
Old
Claudia,
murdery
my other
Joe.
roommate, but she left for the airport right after I arrived.
What happened after Claudia left?
Well, murdery Joe pulled out my gun and capped the bitch.
Are you not paying attention?
I was late for my date with Ralph. I tried to phone him, but the line was busy,
So I tried opening a window and
I
yelling
decided
at
to
him.
shower first and try reaching him afterwards.
That didn't work, so I got frustrated and killed my roommate.
Miss Davis, when girls share an apartment, occasionally there are differences, friction over little things. Now, did you and Sue get along?
Now, me, being an older man, know all about girls sharing apartments.
Usual roommate kind of quarrels, nothing important.
Woman stuff? Ugh.
What are you suggesting, Lieutenant? Just this, Counselor. I find it hard to believe that she couldn't hear the blast from a .32 just 25 feet from where it was fired.
It was only 3 feet from my ears because I fired it.
In the shower. I wear a swimming cap to keep my hair dry, and it covers my ears.
You can't hear through a shower cap?
There was no argument. You're trying to make me say that I killed her. I didn't. She was dead. I found her dead.
John, it just doesn't make sense. She couldn't have created a more incriminating situation.
Come on, Bob. If she's the murderer, we're done. We can close this case up right now. Then I can go home.
No sign of a struggle. The Harrington girl was shot through the back by someone she knew.
That was definitely a
White
someone
fingerprints and
she
placed in the
knew type entry
Pretty
wound.
clumsy attempt to make it look like suicide. Sorry, Miss Davis. I'm going to have to hold you for further questioning.
Gene.
Just go limp. He
I'm
holds
reneging on my
hard.
promise. I'm going to do my best to keep you out of that courtroom. And I'll keep your date with Ralph.
I'm going to go date Ralph now.
Bartender? Excuse me.
Yeah?
Do you know if there's a Ralph Daly here?
Ralph Daly?
Yes.
Yeah, there he is over at that table.
Don't you got eyes?
Daly?
Hi, Ralph.
My name is Maris. Could I talk to you for a minute?
Sit down. Maris. I can't place it. You with the airline?
No, but we have a mutual friend, Gene Davis.
Oh, you were at the gangbang
We
too.
have a date tonight.
Were you turtle mask or lion mask?
Attorney.
Plague doctor.
Well, you've come to the
Good
wrong
for
place. She
you.
can't sue me for divorce. We're not married. I don't owe her any money. I've never said anything libelous about her. Now, what can I do for you?
One of her roommates was killed, Sue Harrington.
Sue killed?
Oh, yeah, that was definitely me. I forgot about that.
I can't believe it. This must be some kind of a joke, mister.
Yeah, this is a prank murder investigation.
Murder.
You were at Gene's apartment earlier this evening.
Well, sure, but only for a few minutes. I left when I found out her flight was going to be late.
And afterwards, you were going to come back for her.
No.
I was gonna
said
bust
I'd
off
call
a
her. She'd
grumpy
reach
in
me
their
here.
room
Instead of
as a
calling, you
goof.
decided to come back to the apartment.
And kill her, yes. I mean, no.
Buddy boy, I don't know what course you're navigating.
When you're hired on as a pilot at the airlines, you have to speak in
You're
flying
not
metaphors.
What are you trying to hide, Mr. Daly?
Nothing, mister. Nothing.
Do you think the nervous, sweating guy who's prone to start screaming for no reason did it?
Why do they always assume it's me?
I don't want any trouble in my place here.
There won't be.
So, bartender,
Okay.
did you kill her?
Yeah.
A little information. Do you know that Ralph Daly, the pilot I was just talking to?
Yeah, I pointed you in that direction.
What do you, got some kind of condition?
Like the atmosphere.
How long has he been here tonight?
Oh, I wouldn't know. I've been too busy to pay any attention to anything like that.
I don't want to know what this bartender was busy doing on a completely
Stewardess
clear
named
bar
Sue
table.
Harrington was murdered this evening.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Little Sue?
That's right.
Oh, she was so hot.
She was a real nice kid. So you thinking that Ralph killed her?
I didn't say that.
Why, he couldn't have.
I'm going to assume you did.
Why? Why do you say that?
Why? Why, those two used to go together. In fact, a little while ago, it looked like they were going to get hooked up.
You mean Ralph planned to marry Sue?
Yeah, until he murdered
The
her.
way it looked.
I was there
A couple of months
too.
ago, Ralph came in here one night looking very unhappy.
I was the man holding the trash bag open.
Then he went on a big jag. Had to pour him into a cab to get him home.
Since then, did he ever date Sue?
Not since
I
the
don't know
murder.
about that, but he never brought her back here again.
The friendly touching really picked up after the dating stopped, and it never really slowed down, so I think he's still single.
He calls it tipping. On prostate-specific antigen airline.
All right, let's give this a test out on heels. We don't want Biden slipping again.
One popper and one no popper.
Just confirmed when the airline contacted me.
Oh, wait, no, they're both poppers. Never mind.
Days ago. Was everything between Sue and Gene all right?
Yes.
You're sure about that? There wasn't any quarrel, any trouble of any kind.
Well, at that point, I think everything was settled.
What was...
Why are you holding me like that? Am I detained, or is this the 1950s?
No matter how you may feel about either girl, it's very important that you answer the lieutenant's question.
About 2 months ago, Gene started dating a man that Stu had broken off with.
You mean Ralph Daly?
That's right. How did you know?
I was the man in the plague doctor mask.
Oh,
I want you to think very
congratulations.
carefully before answering this question.
Do you like me?
Sue could have been dating Daly on the sly without Jean knowing it.
I've given you 3 options. Yes, totally, and absolutely.
On the back, there's a 4th option that says no, and I would like to go to prison for murder now.
I wasn't trying to hide anything, Mr. Maris. Ralph and Sue haven't had anything to do with one another for months.
2 months to be exact.
Yeah, I said months plural, fuck sock.
Unless you tell me the whole truth about this affair, you'll be seeing a court trial, all right, from a reserved seat.
Innocent woman dragged to the precinct to be mansplained at. Aren't I a lucky girl?
Sue had been running around with a lot of other men.
A lot of?
Ralph
How
found
many?
out.
Details.
He was in love with her, and this hurt him, so he broke it off.
And how'd you fit in?
On rotating
Innocently enough.
Tuesdays.
He came over and cried on my shoulder.
And
He
other
thought he made a
places.
mistake.
But you didn't.
I didn't offer an opinion, Mr. Maris. He asked me to talk to Sue, and I did.
What was her reaction?
You know, she put out a lit cigarette on my forehead.
And then the hard stuff started.
Gene, I want the truth. What is it?
She said she wasn't interested. But the minute he started dating me, she became resentful. She said I was being disloyal as a friend.
She killed herself to spite me.
But the quarrel was unimportant.
You're being rational, Gene, and murder isn't. By withholding information about your relationship with Sue, you've given the police a neat motive and undermined your whole case.
I want you to get away with
Lasted
this.
for a few weeks, and then one day she said she was sorry, and it was all over with.
I mean, 2 women quarrel about a man and then just make up like that.
Wow, this is like a negative score on the Bechdel test.
Easily. Could be you were both pretending.
This entire episode is all mansplaining about women fighting about men.
One day, Sue tells you that she's been seeing Ralph. Police are bound to think that you grabbed the gun in a jealous rage and shot her in the back.
Oh no, he knows the sexist woman thought too well.
No, I didn't. It isn't true. No, I didn't.
It's okay. It's okay. Listen, just assume the position.
I'm sorry, I had to find out that you're,
Would you like a little shoulder massage as I grind my junk into your butt?
Gene, listen. This is a thing that you've got to face.
Zip.
Ralph was there at the apartment earlier. Now, he must have known where the gun was kept.
God, I heard a zip.
He was leaving. He
Oh,
knew that the
don't
plane was
look
late.
all the way around.
This was a perfect chance to soothe his wounded ego.
I don't believe it. He wouldn't kill her for a reason like that. Besides,
Look
he
at
doesn't care
it.
that much anymore. I know it.
Well, let's talk about what he would kill her for.
Please don't get Ralph involved.
Look, you're being noble. What are you protecting Ralph for? What are you holding back? Now, what is it?
Bring me Ralph.
Well, soon after Ralph and Sue broke up, they were assigned to a Miami flight together. Something happened. We weren't on very good terms at the time, and so she wouldn't tell me what it was. She just said that she never wanted to fly with him again, that he was irresponsible.
That he kept giving her swirlies in the airplane toilet and her head was hanging out the bottom of the fuselage.
She was going to, but Toady, the co-pilot, talked her out
Toady?
of it.
I refuse to
She was
believe that a
being
person
vindictive,
named
I know it.
Toady has a job in a
Supposing-
professional field.
That her accusation could be proved true.
Then he would have lost his job. It might have even ended his career as a pilot.
Guard. I don't know where you got your information, but it's all
This
wet.
plane's kind of noisy for not being on, don't you think?
Clean, completely.
Then why did you persuade Sue Harrington not to report him to the airline?
How did you hear about that?
How do you think, dipshit?
Now tell us what happened, and we want the truth this time.
Don't you sass me, potato.
We had a layover in Miami the night before the return flight. Ralph ran into an old wartime buddy. He picked him up at the bar, and they went out to dinner. Well, anyway, Sue saw Ralph walk into the bar, and the next day on the
You smell
return flight,
like
she came
ham.
up front just
I
when
like
Ralph got pretty sick. Well, she thought he was drunk and threatened to report him.
Well, was he?
Yes.
No, pilots don't have drinks the day before they fly.
They have them the day they fly.
He had food poisoning.
Yeah, I call it food poisoning, too.
Okay, but we ran into rough weather. He wasn't sick until we were airborne. That's one of the reasons we have co-pilots. I was there.
He was pilot
That's all you want, I have to
sober,
go
if you know
aboard.
what I mean.
Teddy, we're not quite through yet.
You know, I don't get it. What's all this got to do with Sue's murder?
You cool down, fella. We're going to fire up the long rubber glove.
Ralph would have been
Bring me the glove.
No, of course not. My statement would have negated anything she could say.
For I am a man, you see, and it's the
overlook the
50s.
implication, could they?
No, they couldn't. Ralph would have been under scrutiny. So what? He had nothing to hide. Besides, Ralph couldn't have committed the murder. I took him over to Jean's apartment, waited for him downstairs in the car, and then I drove him to the Galaxy, and I was with him there all the time.
Do you think when they cast the
In fact, I just
lieutenant,
went
they
over to
put
another
out the
table to talk
call
to the
for
girl
some
when you
guy
walked
that
in?
looked dumb and
Why didn't
angry
you
all
tell
the
us this in the
time?
first place?
Thanks for wasting our time, Bill.
Well, you never asked me.
Hey, Bill, propellers on max.
While my suspicions of a connection between Ralph Daly and the murder of Sue Harrington proved wrong,
This is very poorly
I still
dubbed.
felt he could be a source of information because of his relationship to the dead girl.
Hi, I'm sorry. All my
I
furniture is
contacted him once
designed for
again.
the extremely
He was much
tall
less
man.
reluctant to talk.
Toady told me about your conversation, Mr. Maris.
Tink,
I
tink. Here's your
I know I
glass
should
of
have
ice.
leveled with you, but that news about Sue really threw me.
It would have saved us a lot of wear and tear.
Yeah. Well, I've had time to simmer down.
And now I'm a
How can I help
delicious, concentrated soup
Apparently,
of a
Sue's been
man.
seeing some other men. I want to know who they are.
Jeremy, Todd, Michael,
That's what I tried to
John,
find out.
Jacob, Bill.
You got a phone book?
I spotted
So
her
you're
with
going to
one
want
of
to
the
take
pilots
out
a couple of
page
times.
Z4
And there was some guy down in Miami.
to think she
one in
was
Miami.
killed just before finishing
with
the
the
phone
airline?
book.
No.
It was her,
she wouldn't
Beethoven's
say who he was.
Fifth.
Just some guy she met on the run to Miami, a passenger. He was supposed to be just an acquaintance.
Is there anyone who might have seen them together?
No, not that I can think of.
Everyone I know is blind.
Oh, wait a minute.
My toilet cam might have picked
Sure,
something
Claudia
up.
might know. She and Sue worked that Miami flight together a couple of times.
Thanks, Mr. Daly. Thanks a lot.
Oh, Mr. Maris, come in.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm not running away. I'm just moving.
Sounds sexy.
I haven't been able to stay here alone ever since.
I understand.
I'm moving in with some other girls.
Can I join?
Would you like to sit down?
On your face.
Do you believe Jean is innocent?
Yes, I do.
I get that a lot.
So do I, but unless I come up with some new evidence, something concrete,
Well, I'm going to have to sit on your face.
Jean will be set for the end of the week. What about Miami?
Miami?
You've both been down there in the same flights. Can you think of anyone Sue might have been seeing down there? Someone she could have had trouble with?
Need you to give me something concrete.
Considered Miami.
You know what I'm talking about,
She went
Gina?
out down there, but it was the same as it is here. She kept her dates pretty much a secret.
As if she were hiding something?
You know what secrets are, right?
A lot of people go to Miami on their vacation.
Well,
and
I don't think she ever knew the name of the guys behind the glory hole.
Vacation. I
Except for the
forgot all
plague
about that.
doctor.
That was
Dude's
just about the time
hung.
that she and Ralph broke up.
Was this in Miami?
No, she went someplace else. And it's a funny thing, too, because she didn't go with a girl, you know, like we usually do.
She went with
by
a
herself.
donkey.
Then she could have met whomever she was secretly dating while she was on vacation. Where did she go?
Sheboygan.
That's the trouble. I can't remember.
Claudia, try and remember. It's very important. It may be the very thing that'll save Jean. How did she travel there? Did she fly? Go by train? Rent a car?
No, she didn't fly.
She rode a unicycle.
No, she didn't fly because she didn't use her flying allowance. She drove up.
Yes, but what was the donkey's name, bitch?
She got me a postcard.
Don Quixote?
There, wait. You know, one of those picture postcards. See if I still got it. I haven't thrown
I
it
think I
out.
have her head in here somewhere. And if the memory's still good enough, we can cast a light through her eyes to see the last thing that she saw before she died.
Here it is. That's it. It's got a picture of a resort on the front. Right there.
West Falls Motel.
And you're saying I can get some grade A kush here, right?
Thanks, Claudia.
I have a pretty fair memory, but the name Harrington doesn't strike me at all. I tell you what, the girl in this picture does.
Then she was here.
Sure she was.
Whoring it up all
If you
over
wait a
the
minute, I'll
place.
find the right name for you. See, it was about 2 months ago. Hutchins, Cox.
Pretty sure C should come before age.
Tyler, this
Man,
is
you're
it,
bad
Tyler.
at that.
Tyler.
It's like 3 cards in there.
Sure of that, Mrs. Raymond?
Of course I'm sure. In fact, Mr. Raymond and I stood for them. They got married in town the afternoon they arrived here, and they spent their whole honeymoon right here at our place.
Wait a second.
Mrs. Tyler.
I'd recognize
Mr. and
that
Mrs. William
jawline
Tyler
anywhere.
of New York
Plague
City.
doctor?
Oh, they were a
Yeah.
nice couple, and they were
Good
happy
for
as
you.
bugs in a rug. Excuse me a minute.
Surely.
West Balls Hotel speaking. Ah, yes, I'll transfer you to Mr. Penis immediately.
Well, Counselor, I must admit, when you crack a case, you make a nice clean incision right to the heart of it.
Crack? Clean crack?
No, but the New York police have been quietly checking up on a William B. Tyler. He works for a chain of clothing stores in New York, Philadelphia, and Miami.
Does he live here?
No, New York. He's in Miami now. He's expected back late tomorrow afternoon.
So that sounds like a pretty shitty lead, doesn't it, Potato?
Mr. William B. Tyler has a wife and 2 children living in the suburbs in New York.
You go sit in the bad potato hole and think about what you did.
It sounds like it.
Looks like our man.
Thinking he's a felony, Herb. If I can prove it, I'll arrest him on that, and once I pick him up, I'll get the rest.
I don't think that'll be necessary, Lieutenant. I'm sure I know how to make him confess before you pick him up.
See, it's all about prostate stimulation. A lot of men can't handle it.
I'm gonna squirt that answer out of 2 holes at once.
Stewardess.
Excuse me, plain slave.
May I have some, please?
1 tray of liquor.
Mr. Tyler?
Oh, no thanks.
Excuse me, Mr. Tyler. I can't help thinking that we've met someplace before.
Well, maybe on one of these flights. I make this run quite often.
Well, I thought perhaps it might be in Miami, at a nightclub or a party.
Or the alley behind the Chuck E. Cheese. A milking table?
Of course, you dated a stewardess friend of mine, Sue Harrington.
Oh, God, the stewardesses are in cahoots.
I'm sorry, miss, but I'm sure I don't know this Sue.
Harrington, she's a tall, lovely redhead.
I'm afraid you're mistaken.
Or she was before she was shot in the back
I
of
do
the
what you
head.
think about it. I don't know how you could possibly forget her.
It must be easy being a murder detective when the whole case just drops in your lap.
Take no for an answer.
Perhaps she saw you in Miami.
Maybe.
I do go to Miami a lot and see
I
her.
never knew this friend of hers.
Yeah, that struck me as strange, too. She insisted that you knew this girl, this Sue Harrington. I recall reading that she was killed, and the police are still looking for her husband, I guess.
Her husband? I thought stewardesses had to stay single.
Marriage is against the rules, I guess.
Marriage is against the rules of being a flight attendant? What is it, the clergy?
Well, they're closer to God this way.
Found out she was married.
What, like literally in feet and inches?
Why don't you ask
Yeah.
the stewardess?
Get out of
I
here.
don't want to get mixed up with
Okay.
Bye-bye!
Well, John's taking over the remainder of the riff. Enjoy. Gonna get my drink up.
Announcing the arrival of flight 734 at gate 21.
Goodbye, Mr. Tyler. Mr. Tyler? I was right. I have seen you before.
Keep the line
When I was
moving.
killed, you were going into that building.
Some of us got places to go.
Mr. Tyler.
You didn't hear that, right?
Perhaps you better slow down. Maybe you have forgotten that girl. What are you talking about? You travel a lot, Mr. Tyler, meet a lot of women, but you don't take them all to West Falls, do you?
Who put you up to this? My bitch wife, Martha?
Or have you forgotten West Falls because you're already married, Mr. Tyler?
It was Martha!
Did he just throw a dart at him?
You enjoy your last honeymoon, Tyler? The one with Sue Harrington?
Let me see if I can cling onto a plane as it takes off. Who's this third guy?
And I loved her. That's when you made your first mistake, Tyler.
I did love her.
Love is always a mistake, Tyler.
Found out I was married.
Wasn't bigamy enough? Did you have to kill her?
I would have worked it out. I was going to get a divorce. She pulled a gun on me. What? You don't understand. She'd have killed me. It was an accident. Now, why you shot her in the back to make it look like an accident?
Yes! Well, that doesn't make it better.
Herb, why? Why do these guys always say, you don't understand?
Like I've never thought about killing an attractive stewardess before.
Claudia, you missed your profession. You're a great actress. You even had me believing that you saw him the night that Sue was killed.
I wasn't acting. That was the truth. When I saw Mr. Tyler on that plane, he did look familiar to me.
That's
And
an
then when I
ass
saw
you
him
can't
leaving, I
forget.
remembered. I was
He's
waiting
got
for
a
the cab,
dumper for the
And
ages.
when it arrived, I saw him go into our apartment building. And that was the night that Sue was killed.
God, I love it when a case solves itself. All that detective work we did. For nothing! This was one step above. It was all a dream. It was almost like we wasted the viewer's time.
No, Mr. Maris. I have a new phone number. But I don't want to see a court trial.
You know, I'm already in there, but just to let you know, I'm the leg doctor. Good for me. Shouldn't be kneeling there. That's full of jizz and puke and peanuts and mini vodka glass.
And jizz that got mixed up with vodka that I puked up.
Honestly, the rest of the plane is clean.
It's just that one spot.
One spot in front of the person that she's flirting with.
John Duchette. You can't tell, but the criminal they arrested is dangling off the back of the plane by a rope. Pacific Southwest North-South Airlines.
Damn, she's got a great ass.
Hell yeah.